Hello everyone, Tartan Sauce back with you some more Bomber Crew and back with Tartan Sauce 3, and I just wanted to talk about a different save file I had going on, different crew, different aircraft. I just kind of been playing it on the side and terribly grieved to have lost all these characters that I built up to level 10, and it was definitely a bummer deal. I'd flown 26 missions with this crew and didn't lose anybody. Well, this one mission, I just got hammered by these like ME-262s, ME-263s, I forget what they are. They're like comets, I think is what they were. Jets, like early jets. So they were just hammering down on me over the English Channel, and I couldn't get the Spitfire support in time, and I lost my tail gunner. I had to pick him up. Then my engines were getting shot up really bad. I lost power to all engines, and I had the mechanic out on the I had him out on the wing trying to fix it up, and right when he's about to be done, I accidentally clicked somewhere else and it took him off of the engine. Well, when I put him back on, all that progress was lost. So basically we started losing speed, and then the aircraft started plummeting toward the ocean. Well, by the time I select bail out, nobody could move. Everybody was already, like stuck inside the plane, unable to move. So they just plummeted into the ocean, into the English Channel, and all were lost except for the radio operator. He was rescued, but it was quite heartbreaking, really. This game is like, it's really cute and all, but it really has, the dark, realistic side to it that, you can't save and reload. If you lose your crew, you lose your crew. You can't, what do they call it, save scumming? You can't do any of that. And, I think that's an important element to the game, for, like a psychological, emotional attachment, to these characters. And it's pretty heartbreaking to have lost all those folks. So, and not to mention the time that I had invested into these characters. 26 is a lot of missions. So, at any rate, picking up here with Tartan Sauce 3, and as you can see, we're about to get really hammered. And hope I did not overfly it looking at those. Okay, there we go. Release, close those doors, and let's RTB. We are getting smoked here. Alright, let's see who isn't tagged. I have to go to medium altitude, I think, to try to get away from these guns that are lower. You catch AAA fire, or at least I don't know what you call it. I suppose it's just AAA, but not flak. You can catch that stuff from low altitude, whereas you get at medium altitude, you can get away from it. But flak, I think flak will get you at medium altitude. You can overfly that at high altitude, and you can get away from certain aircraft, but your crew have to be outfitted for cold weather gear and whatnot. I'm gonna send this guy to take some ammo back here. Oh, jeez, we got an engine on fire, and I'm gonna use the navigator to have it put it out. Oh, jeez. Let's see what we got here. Alright, then fire's out. Let's see if we're heading in the right direction. That's good. Oh man, I've gotten really off course by just flying a heading and then flying at medium altitude, no visibility for navigation. And I have ended up way down here, and I actually had to emergency land right at the base because I ran out of fuel right at the last moment. I'm gonna go ahead and emergency dive just to go ahead and get down quickly. And usually what you do is like set the altitude you want to go to and then dive so that it won't pop back up. So let's see where we are. Pretty close to base, so that was a fairly quick mission. And I'll go ahead and lower my gear. And as always, if you lower your gear, it creates drag, which you know, causes your fuel burn to increase, and your endurance will drop significantly. See, if I pull the gear up, that would probably jump up at least another 5 minutes. And lean, this stuff comes in handy later on. Some of these longer missions, you really don't have a whole lot of fuel to waste. Especially if you get sidetracked doing like a photo recon mission or something of that nature. Alright, so crew was successful. Made it back. One piece, thankfully. You know, that last aircraft I had, I was talking about my crew that was all leveled up to like 8s, 9s, and 10s. There were missions where we didn't come back with any kind of damage to the aircraft. We managed to not get shot at all, and which is pretty impressive. As you can see, I mean, you're gonna get bounced by fighters all the time and flak and everything. And what it was is we flew around radar sites when those come into play, and we flew around those, and we also flew at high altitude, and that kept aircraft away from us. There will be moments where aircraft will be stuck below you, but they can't shoot at you because they're just following you at a lower altitude, and it's kind of interesting. Alright, let's go tartan sauce 3. I didn't notice it until now. I could actually edit the name of the aircraft. Alright, so let's see what we can upgrade. I'm always about upgrading the tail guns. Jeez. Standard. Let's see. Let's go standard. 2, gun turret, ammo feed. Good, I've got enough to do that. Excellent. Crew gear, you know, I've been very protective of my navigator because getting him leveled up to level 8 has been very important. Let's see what kind of vests we have. Land, sea survival. Yeah, getting him leveled up to 8, guy is so worth it because you can navigate by stars at that point. So flying at high altitude is very much, you know, benefit to you. And honestly, I probably should just go ahead and, you know, start getting guys thermal gear. I think you have to get above 35, if I'm not mistaken, in order to not freeze to death at high altitude. So it might be worth, you know, investing into some warm gear as we get more money and build up our research points. Okay, so gotten that out of the way, and let's go ahead and fly in yet another mission. Let's see what we've got here. We got a tank factory, an ammo dump. Enemy damage will be down. You know, let's get that so we can get the benefit, and usually worth more money. So go ahead and take off. I might go with medium altitude. We'll see. If it's light out, if it's like daytime, you can fly at medium altitude and still navigate. But when it gets dark, that ground percentage really drops. And I think I'm not sure if it varies with the amount of clouds there are, or with your navigator's level. But you know, sometimes this will drop significantly when you get above that layer, but sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know. It might be that the cloud base is considered variable, you know, or not. Like sometimes it's more overcast than not. All right. Well, give me radio for recon, just because it's there. And let's see what happens here. All right, destroy ammo storage. Usually you can see the ground targets pretty well, or at least well enough to bomb them, and you'll keep clear of some ground fire that you might otherwise encounter. All right, I need to get these guys in place. Hopefully he goes and does his thing and comes back soon enough. Usually I send people to go get their own ammo early on because there's plenty of downtime. All right, so we're gonna fly into this cloud and totally lose track of where the hell we are. See, I might have to send them at a lower altitude. Oh jeez, here we go. Alright, so focus will be pretty important here. These kind of stabilize as far as who's doing what aircraft is flying where. You can really hammer down on some of these aircraft. I've dropped them just within seconds because of the angle they've approached from and using focus and all that. All right, let's go ahead and get that engaged. And we need to get him. Need to get him ready. Oh, you know what? Felix is almost down. That's excellent. Alright, let's open those doors. Let's select all. And get ready to release. Alright, bombs away. Close those doors up. Put him back on that. And you know what? Let's do a photo recon while we're here. Might as well. Alright, he needs to fix that. And I need to put him back there to get that photo. And take the photo. Good. Put him back. And let's RTB. We gotta get out of here. Oh, man down. Alright, it's important we get him assisted here. And as soon as he gets picked up, alright, you need to get some ammo. As soon as he picks up, we need to get him back on that gun. It's gonna be very important. Alright, get in there. Alright, we gotta get up higher too. Things are gonna be tough all over. Alright, let's get the aircraft pointed in that direction. Okay, we have some aircraft that are not tagged, so back in there. Focus fire. Alright, I'm gonna have to get this guy. He's gonna have to go get some ammo. I might have to send some ammo there. Jump back in. So my aircraft is taking a beating. I'm not sure when it's glowing like that what that means. If that means that I'm gonna end up like breaking apart or what. But I'm gonna corkscrew because apparently that'll help me evade some of this fire. And we have a man down yet again. I don't know that we have any more kits. This guy might just be toast. I don't see any med kits, and I don't know that I have anybody that can actually heal the character, so we're going the wrong way. I'm going to try to get this aircraft low. And because he only has a minute left, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to do something kind of silly, but it's worked out in the past so many times. I'm going to just emergency land. And it'll put the aircraft on the deck. It'll save the aircraft. Abort that. Alright, emergency land. It will save the character. We'll get the aircraft back. It'll be recovered. But we won't get the return to base bonus, which is okay. I would rather keep the guy alive. Alright, so we failed that. That's okay, but we got photo recon. Did pretty well with that mission. And I feel like that one went by pretty quick, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and pull another mission. I'm probably going to go ahead and upgrade some armor on those guys in the back, because they're taking a lot of fire. Let's see what we got here aircraft-wise. Fuselage, we gotta get that tail armored, and that gun turret. Alright, ammo feed. Can't believe I don't have another rack here. Gotta have that med kit. Okay. And at some point what I'll do is I will put multiple racks. I'll put racks of 3 on here. Unfortunately, I had a chance to use those parachutes, and then I squandered it in that last, the one I was talking about earlier, where I lost all my crew. I had enough parachutes for everybody, and it was just, I got a little greedy, thought I could make it through, and did not. So I'm gonna put a flak helmet on that guy. These tail gunners, they take a beating, man. Combined survival vest, nope. Toughened leather gloves, probably, because it ups the armor. These guys, they need those toughened gloves here. And this fella here, alright, got the flak helmet on. I'm going to do the same thing with him, and I'm going to throw some toughened leather boots on him. He doesn't have to do a lot of walking, the navigator, so he'll be pretty well armored. Actually, I think he's even more armored than those guys, so I'm going to throw boots on there. They're only 10 pounds, so that's just fine with me. Alright, anybody else? Let's see here. This guy needs to remain fast. Those fingerless woolen gloves, they'll help him move around quickly at some point. And these plimsolls, they do the same thing. They'll help him run around. But later on, I'll pretty much have everybody just fully armored, essentially. Alright, inflatable dinghy. Nah, I'm gonna pass on that. Gun turrets. Let's see what we've got here. Upper turret is upgraded. Well, I was gonna do the same there, but that's not gonna work out, is it? Alright. Let's throw a Mark II on there. Gun turret. Let's go Mark II as well. This ventral turret. And can't afford that. That's alright. Let's go ahead and pull another mission here. So we got a sub hunt. We have a doodlebug blitz. Let's see what that one was again. And then the tank factory. You know what? Let's do the tank factory. I don't like the doodlebug blitz so much. I don't know. It's like you have to attack 5 sites, and it seems like there's always fighters all over you. Guess it's not so bad. New course plotted. Alright. Get going that way. Let's gear up. And let's get some ammo figured out here. If your guy is at his gun station and you select the ammo box, they'll go and pull the ammo and then automatically take it back. So sometimes with this guy, when I want him to rearm these people, I have to put him outside first, then touch the ammo and have him go supply them. Because otherwise he'll just go back to his station. It's so close, you'll kind of miss that opportunity to give it to the other guy. Alright, so that sounded something breaking down. We've got to get the hydraulics fixed first. That's really the most important thing, because your guns will not operate unless those hydraulics are online. At least with, you know, the electricity or electrical being down, your radar won't work, but you can still shoot at the enemy. If that's down, you can't shoot at the enemy. So when this guy's done doing his thing, I'll send him back here immediately. And there we go. We're repaired. But we are blind right now. We don't know what the fighter situation is that's out there. Alright, let's take a look at our navigation situation. I like this custom navigation waypoint. It's very handy for steering around things. Otherwise, your navigator will just fly you essentially in the straightest line to your target without avoiding flat guns and radar sites. Alright, we are back. I'm going to go ahead and put him back in here. Alright, so not a moment too soon. There are some enemy fighters somewhere down there. There they are. Let's get them locked quickly. At some point, your radio operator, you can tell him to auto lock onto any targets, which is another perk, but you know, it times out and has to recharge. It's kind of frustrating. Alright, let's get those guys smoked. As your gunners get upgraded, you actually will get incendiary and armor-piercing rounds, which they are so helpful. They are so very helpful. So you can kind of see why, you know, it really sucks to like lose your leveled up guys, because you know you do so like well with them. Obviously, their skill is higher, and perks that they have are substantially better than somebody that's a level 3. Try to fly around like that flag site. I was trying to dive under that cloud. I thought the waypoint wasn't gonna finish before I hit the cloud at sea. What I don't like is if you lose all progress you make towards things. If you move your guy away from what he's working on, you'll lose that progress. And if you fly into a cloud, you'll lose the progress you make on your waypoint, which I think is kind of silly. I mean, it's obviously a challenge, but it's a weird function, if you ask me. Let's get those doors open. Select all, because we're not hitting multiple sites. I learned that the hard way. You really need to check what your targets are, how many they are, so you don't dump everything on one and then not have anything for the rest. Alright. We got fighters dead ahead. I'm gonna release. Lock these guys. Close the doors, get him up, and let's return to base. We are going to be inundated with fighters in a moment here. Yep, look at this. I've actually had an aircraft bounce off of my plane before. And I think it did some damage to it, even. I was really surprised by that. Alright, this guy's on his last build. I'll have to pay attention to him a little bit. And since these guys are recharged, I might as well go ahead and use them. Let's focus the fire there. So your crew members will actually have secondary skills. Some of them you can make them first aid trained, and they can walk around and heal your other conscious characters without having to use a med kit. That's very helpful. Some of them you can make gunners, and they'll get gunner perks as they progress. I usually make my engineer a gunner, and pretty much everybody else I'll make first aid, so they can go and patch people up. Because as you can see, if you don't have enough med kits, if somebody's down, they're down. They're just gonna be toast. All right, this guy's out, man. Get this man. This guy's out. Sit down. I need to get on that inboard engine. Number 3 there and take care of that. He's out too. Alright, so I've poorly managed my ammunition situation here. Wow. I'm just inundated. It's been a long time, I feel like, since I've dealt with this level of aircraft, attacking me. Oh man, I do not want to go snap photos of some, of some site. That's not. We're in a bad way here. Alright, I need to have him transfer the fuel out of this tank into that one. So that we don't run out of fuel. That's going to be very important. Alright, get on that gun, man. Peace. Alright, so if you try to pull this maneuver with somebody on the wing, you will lose them. They will go bye-bye. Alright, so I just lost hydraulics. Great. This is the perfect time for that. And I need to put the navigator back on. Now I'm thinking about it. We gotta get low. Okay, thankfully we're close enough to the coast. I thought where those fighters were going to not be there. Alright. Let's get going. They'll back off once you get over the coast, generally. Now, since these guys aren't doing anything, grab some ammo. Jeez. Leave my guy alone. You know, it's like, I don't know how you turn down that mission, so I might just end up having to, God, I can't believe these guys still follow me. I might have to go either fly the mission or just crash land, emergency land, just to complete this, because we don't have enough fuel. Let's see where we are. See, even though I'm right by the base, it's not going to give me the option. So I'm gonna have him go back to his station. Let's see what the situation is. I'm gonna have these guys bandage up as well. All right, so we got 10 minutes remaining. That's not enough time. That's just not enough time to go do what we need to do over the Belgian coast. Come on, man. All right, I'm gonna put him down. They put everybody back to their stations though. I don't know if they go bouncing around the plane if you don't have them sitting down, and I don't even know if you even have to put them on a grass field or if hitting trees will wreck the plane worse. But let's lower that landing gear. Excuse me. And all right, let's emergency land it, I guess. It's just not worth trying to do that recon mission. I hate it that it does that. You need to be able to turn that stuff down and land. Alright, looks like I've pretty well shot up, but everybody survived. Alright, return to base, failed, whatever. I'm okay with that. I just need these guys to survive. You put a lot of time and investment in these characters. Alright, well, they live to fight another day. And with that, I'm going to say good day. And we will pick up where we left off in another video. And I will probably look into upgrading their gear a little better, maybe even the aircraft and training. Start getting these guys a secondary skill, you know. Probably make him first aid, you know it. That's Gunner. I'll go ahead and do that. Let's make him first aid. And with that, y'all take care.